Hey everybody, I'm Matt Hill. I'm here at the AAPG OKC Conference 2023. Just had Kim on, and just wanted to continue the story about the great Gutowsky. And I got fortunate, Philip's here with her. Introduce yourself.
My name is Pahl. I've been working with Kim on this project for going on 6 years now, roughly. I own a small GIS company that works with oil and gas. I met her through mutual friends a long time ago, and she had been trying to get this movie made about her grandfather. I mean, that was a long time ago, and we're still going. But at the time, she had very limited resources, very, very limited means of getting the story out.
Yeah.
And I was just starting my company.
She has a life too.
That's right.
But this is fascinating.
Although she has made this a huge part of her life at this point. I mean, massive, obviously.
Well, we are fortunate in not just oil and gas in our industry, but really, looking globally at stories like this. Men like this came, across the world to our country and have provided us with abundant energy.
Indeed.
That's where, again, energy literacy and education, we always need to look to our past. We stand on the shoulders of giants.
Indeed.
And we're all very blessed by men like this who, gave us a pathway.
Exactly.
Anyway, I'll get all choked up about stuff like this. But anyway, so,
right.
Tell the story from your perspective. You got the science.
So, getting with Kim, deciding to dive into this story a little bit, did some research on my own. I initially tried to find just a unit boundary so that I can map it. That's what I do. I map things for oil and gas companies. And I thought it was a perfect example to, try and make a GIS project out of. And just a nice side project to, fill up more time, I guess, in my day.
You got a white paper.
Exactly. So I decided to go looking for that unit boundary, and instead I found a report on the Oklahoma Corporation Commission website that was from 1945, 166 pages, thick report, a real light read.
Yeah.
But it was extremely dense, obviously. It had many maps, it had pages and pages of tabular data, and man, when I saw that, it just went boom, man, like look at all this that I can map out. And the company I partnered with is called ESRI. They make the GIS software that I use for my company. And they have a product called Story Maps, which is a kind of a scrollable multimedia kind of story that you can put together. Again, perfect example to use for that. So what I did was, placed all the well spots on a map, linked the data from the tabular report, got it all in a good usable format, and then I was able to create a time lapse of the growth of the field in 2-week increments. And
you got to go to the website and check it out, because I've been watching it over here on the screen. You can't see it. We got sunlight in our eyes, so it'll bounce off. But
it's at the top of the website. It says West Edmond Field Story Map. And yeah,
you did such a good job with
it. Thank you. Incredible to watch, just the speed of this thing growing in a little over 2-year period. And then I did analysis on the test production that was in the report.
Yeah, just the test production.
Just the test production, and they range from 4 hours to 24 hours, the test period. So I logged all of that data as well, so I could analyze it, maybe filter it out a little bit, or do whatever. So what I ended up doing was finding the highest or the lowest producer first, and then translating that amount of oil into the dollar amount in 43 or 44, and then the dollar amount in 2023. So the lowest producer that I found made 99 barrels in a 24-hour test period, which translated to around $1,500 back then in a 24-hour period, and then it was $8,000 in today's dollar amount for oil.
Wow, it's the lowest.
The lowest. The highest in a 4-hour test produced 4,896 barrels of oil. I mean, over 1,000 barrels an hour. In 1944, that was just shy of $80,000 in 4 hours. In today's dollars, 413,516.
Massive amount.
And that could have been a bad day. Yeah, man. I mean,
could have been a bad day.
Who knows?
Initial production.
And there were many others that had similar production, just lower than that.
Hadn't even really got it going yet.
That's right. It was just an immense field with immense pressure. And I mean, the Wagner 1, the first well that was drilled, was a blowout. We've got pictures on the board on the website about that. Just a very powerful field, and I mean, in many ways, not just in oil pressure, in output, in production.
And this is again the West Edmond. What are they calling it?
So the West Edmond Hunt and Lime unit is what it's called now. The Whaloo. So yeah, man, there should still be wells producing in there. Yep. I know there's one company that owns the majority of the wells in the unit now, but it's still today is making quite an impact. Not just in Edmond itself, but I mean,
wells that are drilled way back then are still making people money.
Exactly. And part of the story we didn't really touch on in the last episode was this discovery helped the U.S. and the Allied forces win the World War II victory. I'm butchering the hell out of this.
That's fine. That's usually me.
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. It helped them win the DJ invasion. It supplied the fuel. It supplied the fuel for the war machine to go over and finish it for all. And in return, made Edmond a very wealthy area, as we all may know.
Yeah. No. You still have a lot of work to do. We discovered, and I asked you not tough questions, but you lit up because you still know. Like, I want to see how long all those wells produced and what their total contribution was and still is.
Right.
And how many are still producing to this day.
Well, and also looking at the landowners, who received the royalties initially, were they transferred? Did we are they still receive that same family still receiving those royalties? Right. There's still a lot of analysis to be done. Maybe some more
money into Kim's pocket from the Black Widow that she never got.
Who knows? Who knows? There's an investigation we'd like to fuel, eventually to actually find some real answers as to what happened to that. But that might come later. But in the meantime,
it's all about this man and his legacy.
That's right.
And the fact that we have such a treasure of history right here, right close to home.
Right.
Just a little bit east of me where I live, and just a little bit north of where we're at right now in this conference. And there's oil fields all over, Oklahoma,
right,
and in multiple, layers deep. But it's every single one of these that you and I talk about, they all have these rich stories of history. This is one man in a vast sea of oil that has, inspired us all to continue doing what we do.
Exactly. An inspiration to me, an inspiration to Kim. I know we look back on him and say, gosh, we've been at this for, you've been at it for 10, I've been with you for around 6. We've had plenty of doors closed. We've had plenty of ridicule. We've had plenty of, you're seriously trying to make a movie.
Why not?
Exactly. That's what we said. Because the integrity, the values that Ace Gutowsky had, we just keep thinking back, what are we doing this for? Like, what is the subject matter? And it applies to us.
Oil and gas maybe selling in a huge audience. You just type in oil and gas on LinkedIn. There's millions of people tied to energy that want to know about this stuff.
Exactly.
I'll go put a button seat for something like this.
Exactly. And there are some films coming out that do paint the oil industry in a negative light, especially the oil history.
There's plenty that paint in a good light. Again,
we're definitely trying to contribute to that. We're trying to make a good one.
Kevin Sorbo just did one. Miracle in West Texas.
Right.
So there's lots of places out there that believe in the positive impact that reliable energy gives them.
And we're trying to weight that side of the scale more and more because the oil and gas industry is full of great and wonderful people.
Man, anything else? Let's plug your company too before we go.
Sure.
What's the name of it again?
It's Landlocked GIS. GIS stands for Geographic Information Systems. At the very basic level, I just make maps for clients. But at the more advanced level, I provide online software solutions where it's basically internal Google Maps for your company. Yeah. You can load your wells, your leases, your rigs, competitor acreage. You can have it all in one place. Take it on your tablet, on your phone, available anywhere, especially handy at conferences like these.
Yeah, we've got to entice the next generation to come into our industry. So, there we go. We've got technology at your fingertips. Young people out there, come embrace our industry and energy industry because there's so many career paths you can go on that will just keep you involved. And you never knew you were going to get involved in this story, but here we go.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It started small and just snowballed, and wow, it snowballed.
Yeah.
We're at a very different spot now than we were.
Well, thank you. God bless you. God bless Kim. We'll see you next time.
All right, bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
God bless you. Bye.